Yo, what up, though? Welcome to another episode of Bringing It to the Table.
Bringing it to the table.
Absolutely. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Once again, it's Brooks, Coach Brooks, civilized felon. My man CB in the building.
Glad to be here as always. Chilling with Brooks.
Hey, listen. It's been a eventful few weeks, man. People, dropping left and right.
Oh man, this day they
Uh,
so we losing people. Man, we losing people, man. Like,
absolutely.
man, I mean they leaving fast, you know?
Yeah. My question is this, bro. You done lost a lot of peers and friends in the past, right?
Right.
How do you deal with that grief, bro?
Oh wow, man. Everybody got their own way. The way I deal with it. Wow. You hit me on the spot with that one, but it's all good.
Because it made me wonder, just because it's not an easy answer, right? So you can't just tell somebody like this how you deal with it, because it's hard because you don't really know.
Right. So I deal with it to the point of I like reading my Bible, but I've been slacking lately, listening to music,
Okay.
talking to people, people I can trust with the situation, or just talking to get certain things just out, talking and not holding it in.
Yep.
That's a good thing. You're releasing and you ain't just holding things in, because what it happened is, what I find, and I'm talking to self, what I found out in the past, that when I hold things in and don't release, it have caused hurt.
Yeah.
I've gained felonies from behind it. Some things I did, some things I didn't. But when I look at it, even aggressive attitude made others fear that I might do something, because I was talking loud, because I got close talking loud.
Yeah.
And you make some people feel threatened. So I had to learn that myself, that to lower my tone, don't approach people in the threatening or intimidating behavior. So, but that's a little much than what you asked me, but I deal with it a lot with reading, actually, my Bible and so forth.
So that's good, because that's part of grief.
Right.
There's 5 stages of grief. You got denial. That mean that you don't believe that somebody is really gone.
Right.
You got anger, and because you so angry that they're gone. Then you got depression, and you start feeling hopeless about your future with them because they're not there.
Right.
Then you're gonna have to have acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And then that means that you can go on with your life and deal with their absence.
You're right.
But in the moments of denial and anger is where we need to catch our youth. When they start feeling those stages of grief, we need to catch them there and start intercepting them feelings and emotions.
Right.
Because they can that anger can turn into retaliation or revenge.
And when you talk about our youth, because that's where most of that violence is coming from, the youth. And a lot of that is issues that they're dealing with from being a youth. It could have stemmed anywhere from birth to where they at now, or somewhere down the line of childhood, abuse came into play, and they don't know how to deal with the situation. So a lot of people just angry. So I guess where we go right now with that is, how do we come up with a solution to assist the youth with dealing with their anger?
Right.
Releasing it properly, and not the violent way.
So that's my thing, to teach them
Right.
coping skills. So as far as being in denial, that's fine. You have to let a person go through what they're going to go through. They grief, they deny, whatever. But at the same time, you got to be there and watch that anger,
Right.
and
right,
that depression. because it's anger, depression, and denial. It's like, nah, man, this can't be real. And then you're gonna get so mad when you get angry that you're gonna want to do something. And 9 times out of 10, where we come from, death, an eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you kill one of mine, I'm gonna kill one of yours. In some cases, some people, you kill one of mine, I'm gonna kill 10 of yours. And and the cycle don't stop.
And we see that cycle ain't working.
Yep.
That cycle was what doing, creating a whole bunch of other problems.
Yep.
So like you said, man, we got to deal with that anger part. We got to find solutions to help the youth. And I like what that brother said tonight about coming together. Okay. All resources, all us coming together. So when a situation come our way, I can shoot that brother over there. Hey, go and call this brother. I'm dealing with like we deal with addiction, but they might be dealing with grief. Yeah. Hey, call this therapist up.
That's the point. That's the point. All these, we got a lot of people in our community with resources that need to be being utilized in each aspect of these stages of with our youth and our people that's going through what they're going through.
Right.
So when that grief and denial therapy, man, and grief counseling is mandatory. You have to go get counseling. You have to go get that help and accept it, and just know that if you don't, you will never get over them issues. You might not never get over it, but you're gonna learn how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you gotta figure out other coping skills.
You do. You do, because like you said on a few podcasts ago, man, that it ain't just about recovery from addiction. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. Because once you begin to recover from addiction, you begin to change in other aspects of your life. Yep. You begin to look at the way you're eating. You begin to understand that physical activity, exercising is required. You begin to understand that what you feed your mind with, that's where your thoughts come from. if you're looking at or reading a bunch of garbage all day long, then that's what your mindset is on. Yep. So if you feed your mind with positive things and place yourself around positive people in positive places where people can interact and grow from each other, then you'll become an all-around better person.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's just like the tree bears, man. It's like, if you're gonna be a tree, you don't want to bear rotten fruit.
Right.
You literally have to take real careful inventory of who you're gonna allow yourself to be around.
Right.
And listen, you might love somebody, you might want to, spend the rest of your life with somebody. You might love everything about them. But if they not right for you, if they not giving you the energy that you need to succeed in your life, and they being more of a hindrance than a help, then you got to reevaluate that relationship.
You're right. I agree.
Yeah, no matter who it is. Sometimes it might just be dead weight. It could be a family member. It could be a friend, a so-called friend. It could be it could be anybody. It could be a job. It could be anything, man. But you got to take careful inventory of that and make your decision based up on pros and cons.
Right.
If it's beneficial for you to be there, or for you to allow somebody to share the same experiences with you, or you share their experiences.
Right.
Because a lot of the times they just doing it for clout, man.
A
lot of these,
we don't want to do it for that.
No, a lot of I notice
the right thing.
Yeah, I notice a lot of these kids that's hanging with each other. Right. They not like that.
Right.
A lot of them ain't like that, bro. But they want to be in that crowd. They want to be looked at as if they tough. They want to be looked at because the girls like the bad boys and all of that, and they want to be that. And the girls now, remember what you were saying earlier?
About what?
About how females dressing and what they're wearing, and then once you approach them the wrong way or say the wrong thing, they mad at you.
Right.
But at the same time, you dressing with your booty cheeks hanging out, you bending over and I literally be seeing these girls bending over, grabbing their butt for people to look at. Like, but then when you see one of the little guys say something, then they want to get mad like somebody disrespect. Actually, what's been surprising me though, bro, I really haven't been seeing that many girls get mad no more when these boys out here calling them bitches and telling them to bust it open. Man, what?
It's almost like that's what they want them to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, literally they accepting that because they making the music and talking about it themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's the culture we live in now. Things that was once looked at as people outcasted, now it's acceptable.
Yep.
And if you speak against it, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy because you told me to pull my to put on a dress long enough. You're the bad guy because you told me to zip my blouse over because my breasts is about to. Matter of fact, they don't even get right there because a lot of times, Brooks, some of them ain't even got nothing on their breasts. It just got the nipples covered up.
Yeah.
So, that's, where did we go wrong in society that we come to this?
My homegirl, that worked up there, that front desk,
Right.
she's like, I was talking to her about that earlier. She was like, we just became punk ass parents. She didn't, she wasn't saying her, but she was just saying us in our generation. A lot of us had just started allowing our kids to have too many choices, and to share too much of their feelings, and we done started getting too soft. I said, you know what, you're right, and then I added my own to it and said that sometimes we get a little bit lazy as parents, and instead of us wanting to discipline hard, we do just be like, okay, forget it. I ain't gonna make you do this. I ain't gonna make you do that.
Right.
Because that's us. You know what I'm saying? Not going hard like we should be when it comes to parenting. Sometimes, not saying all the time, but sometimes. But for the most part, if you look at this generation now, they are soft. They soft, man. And they think they this the thing. They think they tough. Yeah, they think they tough.
Step on the shoe by mistake. They want to shoot you.
Nah, yeah, it's weird.
And
but the thing is, they so mushy that they don't understand that they need to talk that out. They need if they sit down with somebody that'll call them out on their shit, or if they need to call somebody out on their shit, they need to have a conversation to where it won't just be like, all right, forget it, and just leave it alone, and then y'all don't ever get to the bottom of the issue. Because a lot of relationships is like that, bro. Like, just say for instance, if you got a man and a woman in the house and all they do is look at their phones all day, and if they get an issue, they start to argue, and the man started talking to the girl, to his woman, and she don't like what he's saying. She started looking at her phone and just scrolling and ignoring him, like whatever. But because she don't care about this relationship because she got all these other relationships on her phone.
Right.
So that's not even important no more. The human interaction with her mate is not important. It's this.
And that's what opened that door.
And then the door open here, but the door closed in the household. So it's so much easier to dissolve relationships when you feel like you got something else to run to all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so we do that with our kids too. We allow that. Same little recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying?
And I noticed, to piggyback on what you said about relationships, that when people do go outside their marriage, outside their relationship, it seems like we don't notice that while sneaking around, having them extra relationships, that once it comes out in the open and you don't got to sneak around no more, maybe the relationship ended or the marriage ended, and then you with that person you were sneaking around with, it's less appealing now. And I believe a lot of times, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of times, the excitement come from the sneaking around. And there's no more in common when they don't have to sneak around. That's why a lot of relationships dissolve just as quick as they form. Did I make any sense what I said? Because now that we ain't got to creep around no more, man. You can be out in the public You know what I'm saying? Say I left my lady. If I had my wife, if I was married, I left my wife because I'm cheating with another woman. Then come on, I open my wife on divorce or whatnot. Now I can be with this other woman. Now I'm looking at this other woman differently than what I was in the beginning. Now I don't have to sneak around and do these things anymore. And then you realize that the grass wasn't greener next door than what it was at home.
The excitement gone.
Right, the excitement gone. And now, sometimes the spouse come back to the person who choose to run off somewhere else, but then sometimes they gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I'd say a little moment of fun that you thought was fun cost you a lifetime of happiness with this person that you could have been sharing the happiness with.
Well, that's just your way of getting out the way for somebody else who deserved to have that woman. If she was a worthy woman to be in a relationship with a worthy man. Woman. So, but and that's that's another downfall in our community because we don't know the true value of a good relationship.
Right.
Because a lot of us didn't see it growing up in the household.
Right.
Like
my father wasn't in the household.
Right. So
so
you don't know.
So went drinking.
Yeah. So you don't know what that looked like. So
put him down.
Yeah. You can't have a good. I can't set a good example if I didn't really have a good example set for me. If I'm just winging it all my life, but once you get old enough. And you start learning right from wrong, and you know what's right and you know what's wrong, then ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So, what they say, experience is really expensive because it costs you your whole youth.
Right.
So you got to go through your whole youth making these bad mistakes in order to learn the right way to do things in life.
You're right. And that's how you become a better person from experience. Remember what I said? I don't know if I said it here, but I know I said it over there at TriCamp that a smart man will learn from his mistakes, but a wise man will learn from the mistakes of others. See, there's a lot of things we can avoid if we just pay attention to those who talk to us and try to warn us about different things. Same way we do with the youth. We try to keep them from going through a lot of unnecessary trials and tribulations that they put themselves in if they just would have listened.
Yeah.
But some people got to find out for themselves, but it can be avoided if you just listen.
Definitely. Definitely, but it's hard to just listen,
It is.
And
sometimes I didn't listen.
Yeah, so I can't blame a hardhead for being hardheaded. But like I said, that's why we said that youth is the most. Your experience costs you your youth, your knowledge, because you got all your youth years. Some people done spent it all locked up. Some people done spent all their youth getting shot up, cut up, all type of stuff. So, and some still haven't learned, even though they're in their 30s, 40s, and close to their 50s. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some people still ain't learned. Because, hey, I'm getting by just like how I'm getting by. Like I was talking to them guys earlier today in group, and this is a young guy, a new guy. There. He was like, I'm talking to them. I'm like, so, and I love my guys. I ain't even gonna lie, because I got a young guy in there. That boy crazy. He funny, and he would have a bright future ahead of him if, like I told him. So you should take that dope boy mentality. I said dope ain't nothing but a product, bro. Take that same mentality and apply it to other products.
Right.
It don't have to be drugs.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like I said, I know that a drug dealer's dream is to reach a key. You know what I'm saying? When you get there, you start getting the 4.5 and the 4 and the baby, and you think you rich. It's unbelievable. When you reach that level, when you start touching a little bit of money, but you can take that same principle and apply it to marbles. You can buy T-shirt. I say, bro, I don't understand. The simplest idea
Right.
with
right.
a couple of dollars behind it can
Right.
make you a big flip
And persistence.
and be persistent. But
You
dog
know?
steady like, but I can go get me some right now and then go take this 2,000 and flip it to 40,000 into. All right,
But that's a mindset that he's not ready to change.
no, he 23, so that's the point. So you got to have that conversation with him, and sometimes look him upside his head like he's stupid. Like, dude, do you realize what I'm telling you? That you're saying the same thing, but you just rather take a chance and end your ass back up in prison. Versus,
or tell on everybody. You know, because
But-
you know that's in society now. Not saying that condoning anything, but what I'm saying is this generation now they doing things, and I believe a lot of them do what they do because they just know they're gonna tell to get their way out of getting in trouble. You know, telling has become a lifestyle for some people because why would I go to prison? I can just tell on somebody. So he trying to justify the wrong that he doing and gonna continue to do wrong when he get caught. You know, so
Right.
it's a lose-lose situation. That's why we got to come up with a solution and connect with others, come up with a solution so we can target this younger generation, the millenniums, even those before the millenniums, those that's 30 and under. Because why? Because a lot of them within the homes, the fathers was absent. A lot of them, the mothers was, while the father was absent, the mothers was dealing with substance abuse. Maybe the mothers was dealing with abusive relationship. So there was neglect between the only parent that was still left there to help to raise this child. They're experiencing, and then you got some fathers that was out here as single parents. So we don't want to leave them out.
like me.
Right, like bro, yeah, you're right, single parent. So here you is when you faced with all these different difficulties, and then watch this. What about the ones who do want to do better than what they was doing, and they face with I want to go to work, but I got no way to get there. I got no one to watch my children if they're small children.
Mm-hmm.
So these things are stressful also. So we need to continue work with the city, the state, and other organizations to assist these parents with the resources and the things they need to move forward in life and be successful, so they can do better and raise their child in a more positive environment than what they were doing at first.
Absolutely.
You know, so
And once again, it takes a village.
it
It
do.
literally takes a village, because when like my daughter, I just wish that there were more people or more positive females around that she could vibe with, that would reach out or that would whatever, because just like males need that, little females need it too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because me as a man, there's only so much I could do and only so much I could talk about with her as a father to a daughter.
Right.
And I'm not one of them that would sit there and play lipstick and makeup with her. I'm not that guy. She know it, and that's not what she would expect of me. You know what I'm saying? She want to do that with who she want to do that with, and it definitely ain't me, or whatever type of female relationship that she need to have to start understanding and becoming a young lady in today's society. But that's why I said it take a village. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, we used to be able to go outside. We can go, our aunties or somebody would be over to the house, or they'd come pick us up, or you had people, your uncles and them, or you can go over your grandma and them house, and it was just more of a family vibe dynamic.
Right.
The neighbors, you can go over there and chill, but you can't trust nobody no more. And then families ain't as tight as they used to be. You know what I'm saying? So so it's just, I don't know, it's hard. So I can only imagine what these kids out here now in the gang culture too.
Right.
So they clinging with each other, and whatever they doing, whatever he doing, I'm doing. So cause we gang. You know what I'm saying?
And that's their only sense of family. Gang culture. Gang culture. So they feeling like this is the only love I'm getting. from my game.
And they're the only ones who understand me.
They understand me.
Because we doing the same thing. And
they down for me.
And they not judging it. You know what I'm saying? They're not judging each other because whatever. But it's just a tough nut to crack, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, as far as that go, bro. But as like you said, we get with fellas like that. The fella you talking about, that was Brian Pruitt up there that you had spoke with.
Right.
And he was.
I ain't seen him in a while.
Yeah, good. He a good brother, man.
In fact, I believe me and Brian went to the Hill together.
Yep, he went to the Hill. So, and he want the best. You know what I'm saying, for the community too.
Right.
So that's why when I did mention that about the fellas at Tri-Cap, he said what he said because he want the best just like we do.
Right.
So us all as black men, we do need to put our heads together and start putting together some type of formula, for those that need it.
And that's one day. Let's pick a day, hit these streets, and get out here and talk to these young men.
Yeah, we figure something out because we do this, man. Listen, people just that's their problem. They talk too much without no action behind. I ain't talking about I ain't talking about us. I'm talking about people, and they getting tired of that. They getting tired of it, bro. They need somebody that's gonna come out here and do.
I'm ready.
Stuff.
I just don't know how to properly approach it, but I'm willing to approach it. Yeah. So it was a young man, because a lot of these youngsters, a lot of the younger people, they're dealing with things. They don't know how to cope with it. Young man shared with how he was adopted, and he was angry at everybody because he was adopted.
Yeah.
But now he's learning how to take it for what it is and to forgive others and move forward and not hold on to things because it was holding him back from progressing.
Yeah.
So even with that situation, how many people out there dealing with adoption? How many people out there dealing with abuse? How many people out there dealing with molestation, rape, and all these different things that they're not talking with people about? Because a lot of times they don't know how to talk. Can I trust you to talk with you about this situation? Is you gonna put my business out? So these are things that our young people fear. What keeps them to hold it in, Right. So we gotta, a lot of these things. A lot of these things got to continue to be addressed to our peers.
Right.
Our peers and people that can make a change, people that's in positions to put different programs and recreation places in position for these youngsters, because we need things for them to do other than just hanging in the streets all day.
Definitely. So, and that's part of the conversation that we have, all the time, and it's different geographics and ages that we have to think about. Okay. That's not hanging together. You know what I'm saying? But all of that stuff, it need to be addressed and it need to be talked about carefully.
Right.
And really, explored on a individual basis by each group of age group, because you got your what, your 24 to 35 year olds that's out here, wilding. They want to go to the clubs, they want to be out here partying, and they not hanging with that younger crowd that. You know what I'm saying? So they not gonna be going to no youth centers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they need it's different things that they need to do and different needs that need to be addressed and met.
Right.
So it's just a careful. It's gonna have to be something carefully strategized for.
Yeah, and that's where I believe things like a community assessment comes into place. What do we need?
Yeah.
Let's ask the 24 to 35 year olds. What's some things you like to do when you're not working? What's some things you like to do in your free time that we don't have here placed in position already in the city. What can we do to attract others your age to stop doing going to the club all the time, running the streets, drinking, and because a lot of people, let's go ahead and keep it real. A lot of people just got a lot of time on their hands. They got too much time on their hands.
Yeah, a lot of people do, but a lot of people, you can have all the time in the world on your hands, bro.
Right.
But it's the anger and aggression and what you're doing with that when you got to be able to handle your feelings and your emotions,
Right.
no matter what.
Without getting violent.
Without, yeah. So like, it's at some point you just got to learn how to deal with life,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't go around taking everybody's life because you upset.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
Right.
it's way better ways to deal with things, man. So our communication is all the way broken down, bro. It's like no communication skills. We lack all of that, bro. Because what will stop? It's nothing even wrong with fighting. But these kids now, they don't even want to fight, bro.
Right.
They don't want to catch a fade. Even kids that know how to fight, I've heard them say that they not fighting no more. They shoot. Period. They not fighting no more. What type of?
But let's be real. A lot of that, even though there's violence everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but in our community, that comes from the first video you made about Willie Lynch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
That's just saying that ain't to point no finger at nobody. That's just what was the tactic that was used to control the slave at the time. But that mentality has spilled over into this new century. This is the what, 20th century? So here it is. We still operating as we was would have been operating on a plantation.
Way back in 1712. And that slave, when he said that this is how you control your black slaves for the next 300, possibly 1,000 years or more, you use these tactics.
It's been 300 or something.
It's been 4.
17.
And so he said, use these tactics on your black slaves. So your black slaves really was your black families, is what he was saying, because the slaves all have families living together. So he was telling them to break these families up within these households and turn them all against each other.
And that's what's happening now.
So yeah, exactly.
The households being broken up.
Exactly.
You know, that's exactly what we're experiencing, and we don't want to talk about it anymore. Now we should be coming up with solutions, but there's a great deal of people who don't want solutions.
Well, them people ain't our concern. We cause just like when helping people get recovery, if they don't want to recover, I'm not wasting my time with it.
Right.
If you don't want recovery, there's somebody out there that do, that really need me. So I'm not gonna waste my time trying to make you want good for yourself if you don't want it. That's one thing I'm not doing.
So I'm willing to help educate the next person to understand what their worth is, what the worth of others in the community is,
right?
How we can band together, stick together, and be productive and produce positive things around here in the community. I'm for it.
That's what we talking about. That's exactly what we talking about.
I'm for it.
But like I said, if it's people there that's got bad energy, they negative, they talking against what we talking about, they going against the wave, then they gonna have to go. Okay,
gotta go.
I'm not dealing with you.
Go.
We all supposed to want the same thing for our community to stop this violence and this nonsense. Enough is enough.
Because if we don't stop it, man, the future ain't looking good.
Right.
This generation is the generation that's to carry on, and we can't carry on with the behavior that's going on now with a lot of them.
I'm gonna tell you real quick, because I know we got we have a deadline, but we always running over our time. But whatever, it's our shit. So the thing is, with life come all type of different twists and turns. Like, so any day I could leave here and this could be our last time talking. So, but that's with anybody. So get your affairs in order. That means get your life insurance in order. I mean, talk to an attorney. Get your estate in order. That's the thing. Get you a will. Don't care if you rich, you wealthy or not, but get yourself a life insurance policy that if you're not wealthy, if you're not rich, that you can leave a large enough policy behind in order to start your next generation off to be the first ones to start generational wealth. You can do that. It's time to think that way. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that you're going to have to start putting insurance on your children, but you should do that anyway. Have some insurance on them too. Because just look at the type of stuff that happens. You might wake up and get a phone call. Anything. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to talk about it, but it's just real life.
Real.
You know, and when you talk about generational wealth, most of the time it gets started from having a large endowment or a large insurance policy on somebody in the family, then they left a substantial amount of money behind. Sometimes it's good to even make a business plan behind that money. You put it all on paper and put that in the trust, and you ain't got nothing to worry about. You will live your life so much more carefree to where you'll be surprised. You'll have less fear of dying. Seriously.
Right. So here we are. And the society we live in is up to us. It's up to us to help our children and grandchildren become more productive citizens in the community and in the world today, because they're the ones that's going to take our place when we're gone. So we need more doctors, we need more lawyers, we need more law enforcement, we need more nurses, we need more tow truck drivers, whatever it is to help the world become a better place. And if you're dealing with any type of addiction, whether it's substance abuse or whether it's any type of gambling, prostitution, anything like that, feel free to reach out, either Brooks or myself, and we can point you in the right direction to get the assistance that you need to help you recover from whatever is taking a toll on you and stopping you from becoming a productive citizen. And also that if you're dealing with anger, don't let it bottle up. Find you someone to talk to. Maybe call around and talk to a therapist and get into some groups and go talk to someone and release that anger. Maybe physical activity, exercising, getting out running, maybe even going for a walk in the park. These are some things we need to do to become more productive citizens in the community where we at. And like I said, I'm always working with Brooks to come up with solutions to help the community, to help our city, and therefore, hey, see what we can do to move forward and be more positive.
Civilized fella. Listen, we're gonna bring that into fruition. But once again, it's been one. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out. Deuces.
In a minute.